Hi everyone, this is Skull and welcome back to what is another Pokemon trading card game video. I'm sorry I haven't done these in a while, but I've been busy with Primal Clash stuff and Super Smash Bros. 4 Funny Moments videos, and frankly, I just haven't been around my league to record matches and stuff, but I finally have gotten a few matches in with my camera. And anyway, on your left you have Dawson with a plasma deck, and on the right we have Andrew, who just drew a mulligan off of an Yveltal deck. So let's see. First of all, the rules for this tournament were no Primal Clash cards, because Primal Clash technically didn't become tournament legal until yesterday, Wednesday the 25th of February. So yeah, given that I'm recording this now, this commentary now over a video that I recorded a few weeks ago, I think it's pretty safe to say there were no Primal Clash cards anywhere at this tournament. If there were, they were only reprints of other cards that were previously around, like Escape Rope. Anyway, I wonder what Andrew's doing right now. He's taking out a teammates and putting in an escape rope because, like I just said, Primal Clash cards were not tournament legal for this. Primal Clash had already been released, but the new rule is you have to wait 3 weeks after a set is released before you can use cards in an official tournament. And this is not an official tournament, but we prefer at this league to follow the rules as closely as possible, just to give people as much experience and practice as well as possible. So, Dawson does have that die on his deck to signify he can draw an extra card, and, well, he's going to have to move it to a 2, because Andrew just whiffed again, and basically the exact same hand as when he didn't draw anything. So, let's see, during this matchup, both players will probably want to go first, if possible. In this format, there's just very little drawback to going first. Of course, you cannot attack, but with both these decks, it's very difficult to attack turn 1 anyway. Dawson could if he had a Thundurus, and Thundurus against Yveltal would be very detrimental. A Thundurus with a Muscle Band is already doing 100 after weakness, and with a few Deoxys on the bench, you could potentially one-hit knockout for just 1 energy. Anyway, it looks like Dawson is going first. He starts out with a Lugia and a Deoxys, and he puts down the Frozen City. And it is Andrew's turn already. He's looking at it just to see what Frozen City. Actually, no, that's a Plasma Frigate. How about that? I believe Plasma Frigate says whenever your Pokemon has a Plasma Energy attached, it has no weakness. That's very good for Lugia, which, if Andrew is running the Yveltal variant, the Manectric variant of the Yveltal deck, then all of a sudden that Lugia cannot. It doesn't have weakness to Manectric. So Andrew plays Hypnotoxic Laser and gets a little lucky, puts that Lugia to sleep. He needs an energy here to attack. He's going to play his N. Hopefully he can get that. So, well, we'll just have to see what happens here. If that Lugia stays asleep, it's not the end of the world. It'll take... If Dawson gets extremely lucky off of his N, he could attack right now, and he could knock out that small Yveltal, take 2 prizes thanks to Lugia's ability, which allows it to take an extra prize whenever it knocks out a Pokemon with an attack. And that Yveltal has 130 HP, Plasma Gale does 120, plus 10 from that Deoxys, which is exactly 130. However, Dawson would need a double colorless energy and a Coal Rest Machine in order to get this Lugia powered up for a knockout on that Yveltal, and it looks like he didn't get either. Andrew got an Yveltal EX, the beautiful full art version. He's going to attach an energy to the Yveltal that is active, and he's going to settle for an Oblivion Wing for 30. Oh no, he had to put... I guess that is Frozen City, interesting. Okay, never mind. Well, since it's upside down, I guess it's kind of hard to see. But anyway, he had to put 2 damage counters on that Yveltal because he... attached an energy, and Frozen City states whenever you attach an energy to a non-plasma Pokemon, then you have to put 2 damage counters on per energy for each energy from your hand. We see another Lugia EX hit the bench and an Eevee, and there's the Coal Rest Machine. Does Dawson have the double colorless energy or a way to get a double colorless energy? Because if he does, that small Yveltal is knocked out and Dawson gets 2 prizes. the power of Deoxys, adding that crucial extra 10 damage. So, if Dawson has a way of getting a double colorless, then awesome, but it looks like he doesn't have a supporter in his hand. Oh, he does, Sycamore. Note to self, next time remember to make the video full screen. I'm using Sony Vegas for this, my first time using that, and the preview screen is a little on the small side, and it doesn't have the best quality. It sacrifices quality for frame rate, which I think is great, but we see another Colress machine, which means he more than likely did not get that double colorless energy. I see quite a few left in his deck, and he's just going to have to settle for attaching that to Lugia. If only there was a card that allowed for you that required that you pay one less colorless energy. That would be insane. But unfortunately, no. Oh, he does have another one. There are wow, and he attaches the muscle band unnecessarily. He just he has 4 plasma energy on that or on that Lugia, and thanks to Deoxys Power Connect, he has the knockout on that Yveltal, and he takes 2 prizes. Of course, he takes a little more poison damage. Well, he should. That poison or the damage counter on the Lugia should be up to 5 now. Anyway, we see Andrew promote the Yveltal EX, put down the muscle band, and he unfortunately cannot power this thing up in one turn. He's going to need to take a few turns. He just has to attach an energy, put the 2 damage counters on thanks to the Frozen City. He is going to play his Lysander, though, on the Deoxys, hoping to stall, because Deoxys does have a 2 retreat cost. So basically Dawson here would need, he would need a Floatstone or a Switch, or a double colorless energy to attach and retreat. Dawson's turn, he is going to bench the Deoxys and evolve his Eevee into a Glaceon, and then he promoted his Lugia somehow. I didn't see a card hit the discard pile, showing how that could have happened. He's going to Shadow Triad for the plasma energy. No, he's going to Shadow Triad for something. He's going to attach the electric energy, lightning energy to Lugia, and Plasma Gale for, I believe that is 160, thanks to the muscle band and the 2 Deoxys. And because of the 2 damage counters already on that Yveltal EX, that adds up to 180 HP damage against the 170 HP Pokemon, which is, of course, a knockout. And that just gave Dawson another 3 prizes, 2 thanks to the EX, and another 1 thanks to Lugia's ability. And we see the Zerostic from Andrew's side, which discards either a special energy or a tool from any Pokemon in play. And, well, Plasma Energy is a special energy, so that went bye-bye. So now, all of a sudden, now Andrew was only able to attach an energy and pass, and he doesn't have any cards left in his hand. He's in a very bad position. I believe Dawson, he Shadow Triaded for the Colress, and he's going to play the Colress now for 4. Not the mightiest Colress, but it's still going to give him something. If he has the double colorless energy here, he can attack, but he won't be able to knock out that Darkrai. He's just 2 damage counters short. And now he's going to play a Team Plasma Ball and get a Thundurus EX into play. Thundurus EX, of course, has its Raid and Knuckle, which has 60, or it can deal 30 damage, plus however much, Muscle Band, Deoxys, it all stacks. Then we're going to see the Plasma Gale for 160, if my math is correct. Anyway, Raid Knuckle not only deals damage, which can add up to be quite a lot, but it also takes an energy out of the discard pile and attaches it to one of your benched Plasma Pokemon. It can be any energy. It doesn't have to be a basic energy. It could be special. And as is pretty obvious now, what a top deck from Andrew. That N gives him 6 cards, and Dawson only 1. Holy cow, that was amazing. Zero card hand, and the top card on his deck was an N. But anyway, since Deoxys requires plasma energy to attack, no plasma energy, no attack, no matter what, then, well, then you can just raid and knuckle, put those plasma energy back onto Lugia, and then retreat back into Lugia next turn and use Plasma Gale again. Or a double colorless energy if you really do need 2 energy, which sometimes happens. Or just even regular energy if maybe you want to power up something else on the bench that's a Plasma Pokemon. So we'll see what Andrew got here. He needs basically anything to not lose. He does have the Keldeo EX and another Yveltal. He could rush in here if he wanted, just to stall. But, well, he's in a very bad spot. Basically, at this point, Dawson only needs to bump that Darkrai and he wins. He only has 1 prize left, and that Darkrai has 20 HP left. Not a very good situation for Andrew. Even a raid and knuckle here, unassisted, would win. But it looks like Andrew is just going to rush in with his Keldeo. He could always power up the Keldeo to use Secret Sword for 50, but it looks like he's not going to go that route. He's just going to pass. Maybe he didn't get an energy. Maybe he knows no matter what, he loses. Now, Dawson only has 2 cards in his hand, and the camera's just out of reach of seeing what those are. He's going to attach a Rainbow Energy goes onto the Thundurus. And, oh, Glaceon! Glaceon gives Plasma Pokemon 2 less retreat. That's why Deoxys was able to retreat for free earlier. I suddenly remember its ability. It's something that we haven't really seen until recently, but we do see it. And we do see the Raid and Knuckle for a mighty 50, thanks to the 2 Deoxys Power Connect. And then an energy goes on to the Lugia. And, well, now Andrew just... he's in a very bad predicament. Still, he is going to play that Hypnotoxic Laser. Hopefully put that Thundurus to sleep to stall. And it was a Tails, unfortunately. But the poison will do chip damage. Will it be enough? Well, we'll just have to see. In any case, I think, honestly, Dawson has the game here. He's 5 prizes ahead. He's set up to just win within another few turns. We do see an Ultra Ball almost go down from Andrew. He puts it down and then takes it back before he chooses which cards he wants to discard. Maybe he's still deciding if he wants to play it, or maybe what cards he wants to get rid of if he plays it. I don't know what one would go for here. If he runs Manectric, now would probably be the best time to go for it. Oh, he has a Dowsing Machine instead. Oh, he could get the Verbank City Gym out with that, which would, well, one, get rid of the Plasma, or get rid of the Frozen City, which would let him attach energy unheated now. He wouldn't have to put damage counters on his Pokemon. But it would also add to the poison damage, so now that Thundurus would be taking 3 in between turns instead of 1, as far as damage counters goes. And it looks like he will go for the Verbank City Gym. And now he can attach an energy if he wants, and he's going to play a Colress for 7. That's a great card to have in your hand right now. I seriously doubt he can make a comeback, but he's doing great. He's making the best decisions possible. It's just a mixture of bad luck on his part and insanely great luck on Dawson's. Plasma decks are a force to be reckoned with. They're a bit complicated, but they work really well. That's why they're still in format now, 2 or 3 years after they first came out. We see an Yveltal EX hit the bench. And did he get an energy? If he got an energy, he could attach it to Keldeo to retreat if he wanted, into maybe the Yveltal EX. But that thing is weak to Lightning, and Thundurus is a Lightning Pokemon. He's just going to attach a double colorless to Yveltal EX and pass. I guess is pass. He's just going to pass and some poison between turns. If Dawson has a Lysander, he wins. Now we're just going to see Lugia get promoted and the Plasma Gale for knockout. Yeah, for knockout, because that Keldeo already had damage on it. So Dawson wins the game with the Plasma deck, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was a clean sweep. I hope you all enjoyed these videos. I should have some more coming up in the days ahead. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and stay tuned for more.